Hello and welcome to Around the World with WiredScore's APs. In this series, we spotlight APs across global markets, highlighting their journeys, project experiences, and insights for the wider AP community. This month, we speak to Natcha, Head of Property Consultancy at JLL Thailand, whose journey into digital infrastructure began with a background in architecture and marketing, not telecommunications. Hey Natcha, thanks for joining us today. Could you start by telling us just a little bit about yourself, your journey, just to kick off?
Hi Ashley, great to see you again. My path in real estate began when I graduated in architecture and worked as an architect for around 3 years before pursuing another degree in real estate. So then here I am. I became a real estate consultant since then. I have worked in this field for about 10 years now. And as you mentioned, I am now a head of consultancy and property management team in JLL Thailand.
What a really interesting journey. So what inspired you to become a WiredScore and SmartScore AP then?
So it was in 2023 when Thailand's office market began its post-COVID recovery. Companies were rethinking workplace strategies. Some were downsizing, others embracing hybrid work. And among these, debate about the return to office policies, I just think about the way to combine productivities and communications, because it is the era that goes beyond the physical presence at work, which would define the future of work and should be the focus going forward. And within the same year, it was a very good timing as WiredScore has launched in Thailand. That is when I discovered WiredScore certifications. It offers some things that our market didn't have by then, which is a clear, standardized way to assess and communicate building connectivity and a smart building excellence. With my architecture background and a very basic IT knowledge at the time, I believe this would become essential for the future workplace, so I decided to pursue the WiredScore and SmartScore accreditations.
Yeah, that's really, really nice. So what are the biggest takeaways from your WiredScore and SmartScore training then?
Obtaining both accreditations has challenging, actually, but it is rewarding. Since I have worked in a different field, I know I need a support from IT and PropTech experts to dive more into digital infrastructure principle as well as network diagram. So basically to learn the language and priorities. And the overall experience expand my technical knowledge and my ability to communicate effectively with the clients about how digital infrastructure supports business continuity and enhance collaborations. And more importantly, it gave me the confidence to bridge conversations between technical teams and with the commercial stakeholders.
Great, I think there's a lot that APs can take away from your journey there. And on to the next question then, how has becoming an AP really influenced your career and your day-to-day work?
So working on WiredScore and SmartScore projects actually allowed me to collaborate across regions and industries, sharing best practices and learning from other markets. Like the AP credential has elevated my position in the markets. Property owners now seek my expertise on infrastructure upgrading and digital readiness. They also value my understanding of resilience that tenant needs and my ability to translate technical requirements into a tangible business benefits.
Interesting. And thinking about any challenges you might have faced then, how did you overcome them?
My AP journey extends beyond the exam preparations. It involved solving complexity of the real-world challenges that tested both technical knowledge and creative problem solving. Like one significant challenge was bridging technical communication gaps, especially when working across different markets. I had to do some research on regional variations in building practices, and document standards to ensure an accuracy when accessing buildings in the markets I'm not very familiar with. And this experience taught me that technical expertise involves understanding not only what works, but also how local practices align with global standards. And to avoid any confusion, myself and the team have developed a spreadsheet with Thai translations to explain the criteria and to guide evidence formatting. This actually improves clarity, accelerate communications, and can reassure the client teams.
So looking at things a little bit more practically then, I'm aware that you successfully helped a 30-year-old building achieve WiredScore Platinum on a really limited budget. Could you tell us a little bit more about that experience?
Of course, helping the 30-year-old building achieve WiredScore Platinum certification despite budget constraints was one of my most rewarding experiences. We have identified the cost-effective improvement to boost the building score through working very closely with the property management team. This required a deep understanding of the scoring criteria and creative way to optimize the existing infrastructure rather than replacing it. And this experience reinforced that older buildings could compete. They just compete everyone in the market and even outperform others at some way with the right strategy and collaborations.
You've also worked on SmartScore projects. How do you see SmartScore complementing WiredScore in your market?
For me, I see SmartScore and WiredScore working as a complementary layers of building intelligence. As WiredScore as the body, establishing the robust connectivity infrastructure and digital nervous systems, then SmartScore is the mind, demonstrating how those buildings intelligently use the infrastructure to enhance occupant experience, operational efficiencies, and sustainability, and so on. So for Thai developers, this has set a clear pathway for them. Start with WiredScore to establish the world-class connectivity infrastructure, then pursue SmartScore to show how smart building capabilities are wired. A building might achieve WiredScore Platinum for its fiber redundancy and 5G capabilities, then earn SmartScore Gold for demonstrating its IoT sensors, predictive maintenance systems, and the workplace experience, as these are all depend on the underlying connectivity foundations. This dual approach perfectly meets the growing expectation of what a true smart building is. Many multinational company tenants no longer want just reliable internet. They expect buildings that anticipate their needs and provide data-driven insights. The combination of strong connectivities, intelligent automations, create a powerful productivity gains and occupant satisfaction that many traditional buildings, some of them cannot match this requirement.
What advice would you give to other APs or those considering becoming one?
For anyone who is interested in becoming an AP program, embrace your learning curve. You don't need to be a tech expert. Just be willing to step outside your comfort zone. Focus on understanding how connectivity creates business value. Rather than memorizing every technical details, the real-world challenges like budget constraints and stakeholder coordinations have built the practical expertise that is not in the textbooks. And for those current APs, developing some skill like communication skill alongside the technical knowledge. Your ability to translate complex infrastructure into the client's benefits will differentiate you, and more than the technical expertise alone. Build relationship with IT professionals and PropTech vendors. They will become your invaluable resources. And lastly, also look beyond the new developments. Existing buildings present enormous opportunities. With thoughtful upgrades and strong collaborations, they can achieve high certifications and remain competitive in the evolving markets.
Okay, great. And on to my final question then. How do you see the future of connectivity really shaping the office market, especially where Thailand is concerned?
So the building we are leased today will house the next decades of business innovation. But many of us are still evaluating them conventionally and through the yesterday lens. So the reality is the connectivity is no longer just another building amenity. It becomes fundamental infrastructure, just like plumbing and electricity. In our markets, tech companies and digital-driven businesses are driving workspace demand. Developers are integrating fiber redundancies, 5G capabilities, and smart building systems into their new projects, while existing properties upgrading their infrastructure and stay competitive. So those buildings without robust digital capabilities aren't just missing features, they are creating barriers to how the modern business operates, as because of the hybrid work has become permanent now.
Natcha, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for taking part in our Around the World series. It's been a pleasure to hear about your journey, the insights you've learned along the way. Thanks again, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you.